Madam Moderator, okay, and my esteemed panelists, to those who are listening and viewing via the different platforms. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here to share as we observe this season of Lent, sharing what it means to be one nation under God. And in particular, we are looking at where I am concerned, how do church leaders act as counselors to secular leaders? I want to, as I thought about it, I can see where we could end up having to define what we mean by secular leaders, and then it would then raise the difference between secular and sacred leaders. Secular is often seen in a negative sense, but secular would just simply mean that it is not related in a direct way to the religious or the divine. It does not mean that the religious or the divine is not in there, but is not dedicated to such. So you may have buildings or institutions that are secular. That is their purpose. They're to deal with other things outside of that which is religious. That which is sacred then has the holy in it, the divine, and is dedicated to such. So we speak about the sacred scriptures dedicated to the divine and things holy. Sacred means holy. So that's what we are dealing with when it comes to secular and sacred. What we do wrestle with is the secularization of things, where there is that move to remove the divine or God from things, and that is where we end up with the secularization of things. We want to appreciate that we as persons are not divided, although we sometimes act that way, that we are mind, body, soul, and not mind, body, and soul. We tend to separate ourselves, but we would appreciate that we do have all of these which combine to make us who we are, and so faith is part and parcel of who we are as human beings. Of course, what we believe, we just take it for granted. It becomes so ingrained in the way we live, our culture, what we do, that they only become challenged or come to the fore when they're actually challenged as to what we believe. We would appreciate that when it comes to counseling secular leaders then as church persons, that while all may not be formal, there is some way in which counseling happens where secular leadership is concerned, or persons who find themselves in other spheres outside of that which is dedicated to God. And so there is the counseling, the advice that persons receive in regular conversations, through church services, through chaplaincies offered to different institutions. You have persons who are Christians, whether they are active in their church, they are pastors in their church, who also serve in what we term the secular world, who serve on advisory boards in the civil service, private sector. So those things are ongoing all along. So they may need to be explored, but the advice is there, the counseling is offered, and maybe we just need to explore them a little further to cement them. I thank you very much.
And I thank you very much, Reverend Christmas. We're now going to hear from Pastor Connor. Pastor Connor?
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. And I acknowledge